Ah, hello. Hello. How's it going? This morning is fresh air. The sky almost looks. Look at them clouds. I don't know if you can see that, but when you actually look at that, it almost looks like computer created. I'll really start thinking we're in a real matrix reality. Start thinking like this. No, I feel that there's an incredible depth behind nature that, is beyond the computer program. It's something really, really beautiful and divine. Hey, yep. Yeah, I was just going to say that I feel like the earth loves it when we do this, when we sort of lock down, And that's the thing, I think, in regard to the darker agendas that are going on the planet, I think what they don't really realise is that if humanity has the courage to sort of step up, for want of a better word, and have the courage to use a disadvantage to our advantage, then we're all good. No matter what someone does or a race does or whatever, in the past we've had these wars and these battles and that, and it's about how we react to it. If we go into victimhood and just like, oh no, it's lockdown, we're just like subservient to the whatever it is, then we're not really moving forward. So I think there's this sense that we can make these changes, that we can do these things. And I just feel like from eating really well, it's funny, how like all the plants are really vibrant, and if you was to look at them energetically, you see all this like radiating energy, because everything's energy, And I kind of feel like that, like I'm feeling like that myself at the moment, like quite radiant, which is why I called my healing blog thing Radiant Vitality, So yeah, it feels really, really alive and really good, and there's a positive feeling, and that's the general well-being we should be able to be feeling in our lives, positive, that we're all right, because we are all right. The system and the world is sort of struggling quite a bit, but inside we are okay. But the brilliant thing with the lockdowns is that it's a change, and we need a change because we go round and round and round, and those patterns, get pretty worn. It's depressing for some people, and it's change is the essence of life. Nature always changes, seasons change. It's a good thing. So yep, that's my little ranty. Hello. Let's put some light on the subject. Maybe that'll help. God, I can't see the screen now. There we go, that's a little bit better. Oh, well, today has been pretty full on. A lot of cycling around and playing music on the street, so pretty hard. But overall, I'm quite happy that that real positive feeling seems to be there. I'm a little bit more heavier, but it seems to be like some sort of, from these plants, like this radiance. It's like, and I can understand why I called my blog Radiant Vitality now. There's some sort of radiance, like a well-being from these plants. So it's like a garden inside your body. That's what it is. It's a garden. It's like you've got this garden inside, and you are tending to the garden, and the flora, the bacteria, and all the stuff in your system is happy, and it's like a buzzing. There's sort of a buzzing going on through the body, and that buzzing feeling is a very healthy high, a high that is well-rounded, well-balanced. It's a high that feels just naturally good, and it's making my outlook positive, even though there are things going on the planet that's not good. It's like it's bringing a real positive feeling to life despite its difficult time. Just gotta breathe a little bit. Oh. Yeah, I won't say any more for now, but yeah, not too bad really. I think I'm going to try and keep sleeping well, you know, and do that, and change some other things. Just keep moving forward, you know. I'll say a little bit more in a bit. Let's say, like, this is what I've got this evening. It's really nice, and you know, I think we can all sort of like say the reasons why we like what we're doing, why we think what we're doing is good, you know. And let's just open this a bit. Air, always the air. And you know, it's easy for us to say it because we're doing it and we think it's the right thing, but this is the right thing for me, and I don't think it's right for everyone, you know. But even today, just because I've been out, I've not made a meal before I went out today, and so I've been having more things like bananas, like free bananas and nuts. And to me, it's like it's putting my system in a off kilt, whereas this stuff's balancing, you know, tomatoes and mushrooms and broccoli and you know, radishes and all the veg stuff is like really balanced for me. I feel really grateful for it actually. But I think what I just wanted to say was that with this sobering up, with this being clear and sober, it's like you go to the supermarket, you get stuff with plastic packaging, and you just don't want to anymore. Like you just don't want to eat stuff that's in plastic packaging because you don't want to continually destroy the planet with that stuff, you know. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this sobering up is so cool for a species, so good for a species which are destroying its own habitat, because sobering up means that you have that push to do these things. And that was the other thing I remember now what I was going to say. When you eat rubbish and you feel lethargic, and that, you know, that moment when you don't have that energy, I know sometimes for some people it only stays for an hour. You know, for me, I can feel rubbish off something for half a day or a day, you know. Maybe it's because the system's more clear. But when you do that, you know, it's like and your energy becomes sluggish. It's like it's that sluggish generation, it's that sluggish energy which is causing so much trouble on our planet today, because we're just like sluggish and think, you know, we'll just do what we need to do to get by. We'll just do, you know, do that rather than there being a higher purpose, or, you know, we're coming together to help the planet. You know, you start eating really well, and because you're sobered up, because you've got more energy to put into things, and that clarity makes you wise and clear for what's going on around you. It makes you, you know, more respondent in a positive way to your environment. And of course, when you feel good, even more so. So, you know, sobering up means more intelligence. It means becoming more intelligent in your mind because you're clearer. So, you know, we want to be able to become more intelligent and clear, but still feeling really a lot of goodness, you know, in the system. A lot of, it's just a good feeling, to be honest. Just a good feeling of feeling alive. But hard to say. Maybe the extra sugar I had today, like the bananas and things. I mean, my problem has been with sweet things. Basically, that's been my general. That's been my general issue. So, but I couldn't have had more than 3 bananas or something. So it's hard to say what's been not so good today. Could have been the sleep last night, but overall pretty good. But I think an important note to talk about with this tonight is that recognizing those moments when you go off kilt a bit, because it feels like today's just felt a bit weird all along, but there'll be a certain point during the day where you sort of, you feel like it's like a spinning top, you know, and when you sort of lose your center, and then from that point onwards it's almost like your choices are not quite right, you know. And I've noticed that happens a lot. But these days I know when to recognize it, and I know when to sort of make that change. I'm like, you know, that was the moment an hour ago I did this, and yeah, I need to go stop and rest. And the reason I wanted to say this is because I think what happens in these moments is we stop listening to our body. It's like our body might be saying, you know, come on, rest. And I've got a feeling if we could bring that rest, bring that, just that stopping and breathing in between the things that we're doing during the day, we'd find we make better and clearer choices, because we just check in. I suppose that's what I need to tell myself, just check in, you know, just check in where you're at, sort of thing, every so and so, every hour or something, you know. I think if I'd have done that when I came home, I wouldn't have gone on the computer. I would have just stopped and rested. But it's been very hard, I think, also because the whole setup, especially when we were younger, the whole schooling thing was like we'd just be at school all day long. We'd have the lunch break, but it wasn't really a break. It wasn't really, you know, a relaxing and going within and just switching off. It was more, you know, playtime, and then, you know, it's like full days at school, you know, and then college and then work, you know. So that's the way we're programmed. We're programmed to just get on and on and on and not stop. So I feel like I'm writing that. And also, I suppose, you know, we avoid what we feel. We avoid what's truly going on inside us. And I don't want to do that. But the thing is, when you start to like work with your food and like clearing all that out and stop using food as an avoidance, you know, when you stop, you know, using the internet as an avoidance, which I'm still doing, you find some other way to avoid, you know, basically, which is okay, you know, but I want to not avoid, because there's so much life to be had through just living life, through living in the moment, you know. There's so much to be had through just living a real life. And the thing is, to be real means to be real, and you need to be real. I just said you need to be real like 3 times there, but you know, you need to be real, because you're not going to experience life to the full if you're trying to avoid, or you're trying to get away from what is. We need to start to learn that what is fine. You know, what is good. Through having what is, you can have even more good things, because you're not pushing away what is. You know, so I kind of quite like this video at the moment, because I'm having a break from doing the other things which I'm immersed in. It's quite nice to just stop, and I have to go within to talk to you guys here. So I quite like that. That's pretty good. Even if it's just like someone yabbering on about stuff. I'm just going to breathe for a bit. It means a lot to me to find clarity, to find peace, to become clear. And the reason it does is because I want to experience life fully, you know, and, you know, to go around like I used to be, which is just feeling like life's just happening and you're just pulled from one place to the next, you know, and you just get carried along. You want to feel that you have a certain level of control in life, which you can't control life, but it's a control in the sense that you're not that bothered about whether things go right or wrong. You just have the power, the energy to make things happen. And whether those things end up feeling like they're good things or not, you know, everything's your teacher anyway. So there's a real want to truly experience life to the fullest, which I said before. And I think the thing is, for me, is that I'm 37 and I feel like I need clarity. I need to be able to see the pathways. When I say that, I mean be able to see what leads where, you know, through what choices do I make now which lead to what future. And to a certain degree, you can see down those pathways. Maybe you can't see fully, but you can see down those pathways to a degree. There's a really beautiful simplicity in when you turn all the electric off in the house and everything goes quiet, like it is right now, and you don't have that electric humming around, you know. There's a real beautiful simplicity in the way we used to live. So I suppose in my life I'm trying to have this sort of adventure in how can you get back to the core basic of what it is to have an experience of life that is full and rounded and real. It's all about reality. It's all about being real, you know. It's all about excuse me. Lucidity, being lucid at the moment, at least for me. But I still stick to my point that I feel that humanity needs that right now because of what we're doing to the planet. It's a time to be sober because the individuals on this planet are acting like as if we're drunk or something, you know. And when you have a drink, you're not in the place to be doing things like sorting the planet out. And although we're not going around drinking all the time, not everyone, I still believe that what we're ingesting and what we're doing on a daily basis are weakening the human genetic, imprint. It's weakening us down the generational line. So the cleanup operation starts now. Yes. Anyway, yeah, so I think that wraps up day 7, but so I'm a little bit, it's not heavy, it's just more lack of focus and a bit more dissipated, you know, not got that core, yeah, let's do this thing, you know. But it's good to not be fired up all the time, you know. You don't want that. You'd have no energy, I suppose. But it's weird looking at this camera because I keep looking at me to see what I'm looking like when I'm talking rather than looking at you guys. But yeah, I think I'm going to start at some point talking about trauma and healing and stuff. That might be good. That might be good to do. What we will be doing is getting a few people on from all walks of life to express and share on this channel. So that is going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, it's all about being proactive and making things happen at the moment. I'll just pause this one more time and see if I've got anything else more to say. I think in regard to healing ourselves, which is an ongoing process, and it's not about trying to fix, it's more about allowing. It's more about allowing ourselves to be, allowing ourselves to grow, allowing life to happen. I feel like we're not just doing this for us, we're doing this for the generations to come. And those of you who cleanse yourself are doing a great service to the planet because we need all kinds of people on the planet. We need people who are all in different states. They all teach us something. It's just because we've got quite poisoned by the glyphosates, the preservatives and all the things in our food and the way we've been eating, it's affected our brain, and we've got too many people who on the planet or who are caught in that way, and not enough people are eating natural, and that's affecting them and bringing different parts of their personality forward. So we need more people living in a more simple way on the planet to balance out the more craziness, the crazy way of the modern society and the fast pace. Somebody has to be the person to reflect back the old ways, and I feel like some of us are called to do that work, to become that person. And again, I try not to yawn. I can't not try. Can't not try. I can't stop it happening. I mean, natural impulse. Okay, so there we go. I won't bore you more with more of my current state. But yeah, tonight is just showing me that beauty in silence, and it's like timeless sort of. There's so much more depth. There's so much more depth beyond the technology, beyond the normal world we've been living in with the manufactured stuff and the really loud vehicles going by and all this stuff. You know, it's not that I'm a wuss that I can't handle those things, it's that those things are distractions. And when we come to there's a real depth in this room right now, a real peace and a stillness and a silence. It's really, really special. And I love that. I love there's certain things that are just really beautiful, like how I love air, I love the sun, I love the trees, I love the moon, I love life. Shh, what can you hear? Listen. And the sound. The sound. It's beautiful. Everything's beautiful. Beautiful. You are beautiful. Silence is a gift. This is a gift. Anyway, over and out. Time to sleep.